Welcome to Melted. This is Frankie Melted Chapsticks Hollywood of the Melted Chapsticks. Tonight on Melted, sponsored by Carlino Guitars, we have a band that's been signed by Lemmy of Motörhead himself. Their album Spiritual Violence is debuted. You can purchase it on Amazon. The band, Budderside, rock and roll, melodic riffs, and a message. They are amazing, and we are so excited to hear. You have to see, first of all, listen to their music, which is amazing. Next, their videos. Incredible. This band, 5 members, they are just really going to be a band we're going to be talking about for a long time coming. They're just really powerful. Their lead singer, Patrick Stone, he's known he wanted to be a rock star since he's been 4. His vocals sounds like an angel. Their crew is so solid. I just love the message that they have. They're going to be playing at Rocklahoma on Labor Day. They just have a lot of great stuff going on. Really powerful message. Melted is sponsored by Carlino Guitars, the hottest brand in the land. Head down and see Eddie at 135 Mystic Ave in Medford. He does work for Slash, Cheap Trick, Kiss. He'll do anything for a band that is needed. T-shirts, straps, custom-made guitars. He blinged out a Paul Stanley model for me years ago. If I don't know how to play, at least Eddie makes me look like I know how to play, which is excellent. So go down and see Eddie. You can also get lessons from Joe Filoni, who's fantastic. He actually did the riff for our opener. He's amazing. And just Carlino Guitars has a purple couch where you can sit down, really get down to having your guitar made, your strap made. He does it for all the stars. He makes you feel like a star. It's just fantastic. And if you want some meaningful melodic hard rock with a message, 10 Tracks of Power, Spiritual Violence is on sale now. I bought my copy on Amazon. The band, signed by Lemmy of Motörhead himself, a warm, melted welcome to Pat, Gabe, Jeff, Logan, Sam, the band we will be talking about for an eternity, Budderside. How's everyone doing?
Woo! We're doing great. That was one hell of an introduction, man.
Well, you deserve that. I mean, do you know how much magic the 5 of you are creating?
We can feel it. We feel good, and I don't think we feel better when we're apart. We feel really good when we're together.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it shows through, in all that you're doing. We're going to get into your videos, which have been nominated by so many different outlets. And I hope you have won some awards at that, because your videos are incredible. Your music is amazing. Melodic, love it. When I first heard about your band name, I thought of your song, Zen, Things We Do, the title, Spiritual Violence, Amber Alert, Genocide from the Past. And I thought, is this a religion? Like, I wanted to join your cult, but then...
Illuminati confirmed.
Yes. But in the morning, my mom slammed down my toast, my cat fell off the table, and my mom and cat looked at me and said, Budderside. And then I understood. I really, really understood what you guys are all about, and I love it.
Nice. Much appreciated.
Yeah. So where do you get your inspiration?
Well, pretty much we feed off each other, and of course the music that's out there. We share a lot of music, a lot of new music with each other, and mostly when we get together, we just, these guys can't put their instruments down. So as soon as we're together, I mean, they start strumming away or, playing the drums or whatever. And it's like one thing leads to another, and we have something new that we're focusing on. And before you know it, it's a song.
No, absolutely. Because I mean, I just, listen, it's very motivational to me. And, I've been sober 10 years, and I know you've talked about your sobriety. Has that influenced it?
It's influenced it in the sense that, like, I can get some shit done, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or I couldn't get anything done. I was really creative. I love that about you know, all of the stuff in my past, you know, but it's just helped me to get focused. I mean, Sam has never had a drink or done any drugs in his whole life, so he's actually got some sobriety over me. He's got 25 years of
Wow.
sobriety.
26 now. Yeah.
Gabe's got about 2 hours.
which I can be around it, thankfully. You know,
Yeah.
playing out in clubs and stuff like that. I'll even don't tell anybody, as my mother says, as a lead singer. She said I sound better with my mask on, and I'll actually help my drummer carry his stuff. I would never admit this in public, but I'll buy my bandmates drinks, and it's okay to be around it. It's more of a remember when to keep me away from it. And my uncle, who's been sober for 30 years, he remembers being at parties, and he would see kids saying, hey, just, you know, try this, try that. My uncle would be like, no, don't. If you haven't tried it, man, there's just a lot of pain and heartache that can be, you know, people can experience. So, you know, congratulations on that. My higher power that has helped me through is called Satan, which is a combination of Satan and Tom Brady. So some people would say evil and evil, some would say good and evil, but, you know, it's great. So as far as when you come up with a song like Zen, how's the songwriting and the lyrics? Is it just getting together and then that creation happens?
Yeah, more or less, you know. I mean, you know, we have a new formula that we use now, and we really throw every great idea that we can at each other, and we just fiddle with them and fuck with them until you know, it excites us, and then you know, we'll take it into the studio with, you know, a contender of you know, a big producer, and hopefully they'll have their swing on it, and we're just open to, like, you know, allowing things to happen where we didn't see that they could happen. You know, we don't get too married to any ideas. We let things kind of to make their own,
Be as cool as they possibly can.
yeah, somebody else talk,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, you know, Zen kind of it was awesome because it's just in life, I'm always sitting down every conversation. I'm like trying to think of like where it would feed into a lyric. You know what I mean? I'm always very poetic in my mind. So it's like any conversation I have, if something's standing out or something's, you know, making me feel some sort of way, you know, I'll kind of like start to think of lyrics or phrases, or something will come to mind. And if it starts channeling some kind of a melody, you know, then I can build a song around that. But yeah, inspiration hits us from all over the place. You know, Gabe came up with a title for one song from our last recording sessions. He was just, you know, completely blown away that somebody could act a certain way when he saw them, and they pretended not to see him at the club, and that turned into a song.
No, absolutely. We're going to get to the Viper Room in a second, and Live Saved.
Oh yeah,
Gabe. Now I speak English, Spanish, Starbucks, texting, and love. Did Brazil, like being raised in Brazil, did that influence, you know, your musical style? Because you love what I love, which is Nirvana, and if people have a problem with it, they can fuck off.
yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, growing up in Brazil, I feel like I was born in '92, and in Brazil, things, you know, I don't know, like something that's popular here now is probably not going to be popular in Brazil until like 5 years later.
right.
You know, so there's a little bit of a lag. There's a little bit of a delay there. So like, I still got all those bands from the '90s growing up, you know, like Chili Peppers, Nirvana, and GNR, of course, also, and you know. I guess just because there's a lot of like African influence in Brazilian music, I've always been driven to like funk music.
Yes.
So there's a lot of that. Like for me, like the most important thing is that it's got to groove. You know, it's got to bounce and, you know, make you want to dance or whatever, headbang, whatever it is. But it's just got to, you know, have that power behind it. Rhythm section connection.
I love that because I actually, when I meet beautiful Brazilian women, which is all of them, I tell them, hey, do you want me to teach you how to samba? And they look at me. You know, it's a nice try anyways. But no, I love the influence. I lived in Mexico for a year. So it's just we pick and choose a little bit. You also went to music school. What was that like for you?
It was cool, you know, like I actually, you know, I wasn't too worried about like getting technical or anything. I just wanted to understand what I was doing. So, you know, I wanted to know the rules so I could break them consciously.
Yes.
You know, but yeah, learned a lot of jazz and like world music and different stuff. You know, the rock stuff has always just been there. You know, so easy to play.
No,
But
you're
like only, you know, comes from the Ramones and all that. Like that's something that, you know, I try to do as much as I can. Although sometimes it sounds better if you do up and down picking, whatever. You know,
You're picking.
but yeah.
Is that what we're calling it these days, kids?
So a lot of just like different all around influences, you know, and stuff that I learned over the years.
Well, the thing is with COVID, I, for exercise, have been playing one-on-none basketball and still losing. So I'll pretend to be the Celtics and then I'll pretend to be the Lakers. What did you mean by Anthony Davis needs to start eating more spinach? You really need to knock it off, okay?
Have you ever seen Popeye?
What's that?
Popeye finished and then he got strong, right? Anthony Davis, because he's always getting injured, man.
I know.
Whole season he was injured. Now LeBron got injured, and then he gets in the playoffs, and of course we lose. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Eat your spinach.
Yeah, I know. I love that. It's just kind of like anything we say nowadays, which kind of brings us back to your song Zen, which is like we're bombarded by technology and people are really trying to find peace. And for me, I was raised Catholic, so, you know, the sex will be kinky. Evangelical Christian, couldn't do anything. Then atheism, I became bored, and I actually became a Satanist, which is really a bored atheist, which is a cool name. I didn't want to become a Mason. But
Gabe was educating all of us on Satanism actually last night.
Oh, really? Yeah. And one of my favorite things about it is when I saw the first sin of Satanism was don't be stupid, and then another sin is not dressing well. From Patrick on down, you guys look marvelous. I mean, I need to get the links to the website so I can, you know, step up my rock game because you guys look good. But it is another interesting philosophy. And it just seems like your music and your lyrics, you know, all the way through have something to say. More than, you know, and you can get something from, you know, different bands, etc. But, you know, we go through it. It's just your art is amazing, from the music to the videos, etc. So it's good stuff. Who was educating who on Satanism?
I missed a good one, man.
Gabe was educating myself, it's Sam, me, and Logan, and a couple other friends at the Rainbow last night. He just, you know, he was holding church for everybody last night.
It's not really bad stuff at all. I think the best thing about it for me, it keeps, you know, when the Jehovah's Witnesses come to the door, people just leave me alone. So, which is a good thing. So I used
to, so I got a Jehovah's Witness story. It's a good one.
Talk to me.
So
We'll get
I ran into them down in like, near Mexico, right? And they took my number down, and I'd just gotten sober, so I was super excited about God and everything else. And I was leading worship at church 3 times a morning on Sunday mornings. And it was just a huge part of my life. So they walked up to me, and I was just like, they wanted to come over to my house or something, right? And they said that they had people, they said that they had, you know, churches up in Los Angeles, and they would reach out to them and they could come visit me. So I agreed, you know, and so there they are. They knock at my door one morning. I was living with my tattoo artist, this guy Howard Tiemann, who loved to paint naked women in like bathtubs and like in crazy sexual situations. Like he just has this artwork all over his house that's just debaucherous, and the walls are covered in it. And I'm sitting there watching an episode of True Blood, and they're like literally like, you know, there's blood all over the characters, and they're naked. And I actually had a roommate at the time that was a paganist, and she was a transvestite, and she would go into her room, and she always talked with this high-pitched voice, but then she'd disappear into her room, and out of the room would come she'd be having these rituals in there. She'd be having these, you'd hear her doing this like, these crazy noises coming out of the bedroom. and then all of a sudden there's a knock at the door, and it's the Jehovah's Witnesses. Of all times they could stop by. And I opened the door and I just had to laugh. I said, "You come on in." And they came in and they're looking around and they're all freaked out, and they sit down on the couch, and they proceeded to literally tell me the book of what's the guy's name again? I've forgotten now. No. The guy who founded
the Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, no, Paul or John. No. He
was it Mormons or was it Jehovah's?
What's that?
Because I think John Smith is with the Mormons, and then the Watchtower is with the Jehovah's.
So it was John, yeah. So they tell me the whole story, and I sat there and I listened, and I've heard the story 100 times, and I, neither one way or the other about it. Me myself, I'm a Christian, so
yeah,
and I'm very deep in my faith, and you can't shake it no matter what you try to do. But anyway, they got to the end of their story and they were talking about how he had presented himself in front of them, and that he was the chosen one, and I had to admit to them that literally that same thing had happened to me, and in that moment I kind of felt like I could have led all of their people, and they kind of looked at me strangely, and then I think they left. But
and that's how you became part of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Well,
that's when I started my own religion.
No, absolutely. And that's why, for me, it's inclusive. I've been to the different spectrums, and I totally respect. I've had a spiritual experience. I've been to evangelical churches, etc. I just really, and that's what I love about spiritual violence. It makes me think as well, and about how we really, and that's what kind of COVID did, which separating me from loved ones and people, and you get time to think. It really helps solidify your beliefs as well as, question them. So
yeah,
it just.
Well, I think lyrically, I'm kind of always in pursuit of. We are kind of always in the pursuit of the bigger message. Like, what are we here to learn? What is the world and our lives trying to really teach us? What are we leaving behind? To kind of inspire other people to make the right choices or decisions, or help them through hard times, or whatever it is. But it's always a bigger, there's always a bigger idea behind it than just trying to sound cool or look cool. We're an authentic band that's really trying to say something with what we're doing, and we want to make an impact that's profound, like so many of our heroes. You can't help but want to have great lyrical content when you grew up to Guns N' Roses or Pink Floyd and stuff like that, stuff that's just so deep. And
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's so true. The other thing is that it's, as far as being able to do other projects, I was going to ask Sam about NOLA and Pirate Love. What was that all about?
Yeah, man, cool.
Well, NOLA, it's called NOLA, and it's about New Orleans.
Yeah, I lived there for 4 years. I was at Tulane. I still don't know how to read, but I love Uptown, and when I saw that, I said I have to hear about it.
Yeah, I know that's a song. I just kind of played the guitars and stuff on it, but that's a song that the Fester singer Tammy had written quite a while ago, and it had been sitting around for a while and never kind of was finished. And it's something that he pulled out, and it had a cool riff, so we just started working on it and finished it. And yeah, and then Pirate Love, the backstory on that was the artist who was doing the artwork for the whole package had known that the guys prior to me being in with recording on the project was that they had a demo of that song already, and kind of went back to that and redid all of it. And that's where that idea came from, because I guess Johnny Thunders died in New Orleans, and that's where that whole idea came from. Yeah,
that's awesome. It's a great city, and just a really hotbed of great music and jazz and stuff, and that's great. That's the thing that I've
Never heard.
What's that? Well, we will. We need to get you. We need to get Budderside down there immediately for some beignet fights with the powdered sugar and great music, which you'll be bringing yourself. Yes.
This lineup hasn't been there yet, so we haven't done it.
Yeah.
I fucking love Faster Pussycat. And Tammy's fucking, I think one of the last of the Mohicans, you know what I mean? He's still carrying the torch for that, hair metal, the glam rock and stuff like that. I mean, he's still the real deal, so it's rubbing off on Sam quite well. Sam's got, a great deal of sleaze on him that like a lot of have. We've managed to kind of keep that sleaze thing alive a little bit with Budderside for sure.
Little bits here and there finds its way in.
Little, we got tiny people.
I love it. I got a question for Jeff.
Nice.
Woo!
Jeff, listen, does anyone help you with your equipment, first of all? I know for me, it's the way early years.
Yeah. And even just to talk about one of the occasions, if you've seen or heard us talk in the past of one of the videos that we did, it was for Wide Awake, and I had a hell of an experience on it. I nearly quit the fucking band because it was a crazy night, and a lot of surprises, but got through it because they really they gave me a really good helping hand that night, and really helped me out, especially with the gear, and we took my drums on a hike and made the best of it and had a great time. But yeah, they're always here to help. Patrick especially.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I joke with my drummer too. It's like I'm a lead singer and then I'm just carrying the heaviest piece of equipment. It's just like it's good stuff. What sort of gear do you use, Jeff?
Me specific, maybe like Saturn kit for the last 6-7 years now. That's been getting me through a lot. I play with whether it's a cover gig, rock gig, anything, it kind of gets me through everything. But then also use Sabian cymbals, Vader drumsticks. Fucking love that stuff. I've been using it for years.
Nice. And how long have you been in LA?
I've been in LA for about 7.5 years now. It's been a long time.
So you've invented LA. That's what you need to tell people.
Yeah.
Yes, I've created LA. Thank you.
But yeah, for Musicians Institute, went there for a little while, but came down to just making natural connections, going to clubs, going to shows, and that's how I met these guys.
Yeah, and what a great group to be a part of, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Really good stuff. And then Logan, I want to hear about we're sponsored by Carlino Guitars, and we'd like you guys just to check it out. Eddie does work for Kiss / Cheap Trick, etc. Hopefully Budderside soon enough. But tell me about your guitar and that brand.
Oh, you're talking about my metal top one? That one's a company called Zamatis.
Yeah.
It was originally a guy who made them in the UK in like the 60s, I think. And he noticed that like Stratocasters and stuff like that had a metal shielding that protected hum. And he thought about doing like a whole metal top for a guitar. And he ended up getting it engraved by a friend of his that was a gun engraver. And guys from like Rolling Stones and stuff like that started playing them. And then he got a bit big. And yeah, now it's owned by a Japanese company called Greco, and they're really fucking good. I like them a lot.
Nice. I'm going to check it out myself. Don't tell Eddie Carlino. Sorry, Eddie. No, but it's good. I saw that, and I meant to ask you. And Patrick, growing up, my father's a cop, and my mother is a social worker, and you knew at a very early age that you wanted to be a lead singer. And, your voice is, excuse my German, fucking amazing. Through that, though, from let's say 5 to you're 28 again, like me. I stopped getting older at 28. How did they support you through that? And then you met Lemmy through a girlfriend and, went on these tours and built these natural connections. But I also saw all of you, on Instagram giving tribute to your mom, which really touched me. So, Patrick, did your family help you through your career, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, they always told me that I could do, whatever it was I wanted to do. I often I'm really grateful often. I see a lot of artists that go from one image to the next and they're trying to find themselves, and I see them wasting so much time. And by the time that they kind of figure out where they really are, they burn me out on like how many different avenues they've taken. And I feel like I got really lucky when I was really young to have set my sights on a path that like I would never deviate from. I've never wanted to do anything else. There's never been a backup plan. It's like, let's do this or fucking kill me, because this is what I know I was put here to do.
Yes.
The voice inside me told me at a very young age that that's what I was supposed to do, and I was going to be great at it. I was born the year of the ox, so I've accepted that like I've kind of crawled to the top of the mountain, but I'm pretty close now. But my parents were super fucking supportive, um, you know, I remember my dad laying out like the budget for the first tour plan and like how to make it work and make money without, starving on the road. I remember, my mom, she turned on the radio every time we got in the car and just encouraged me to sing. And I knew all the lyrics to all the songs that were on the radio. My sister, had this huge album collection and she just let me rummage through it all the time. And I was just always in her bedroom playing, LPs and looking through her albums and just falling in love with music. So it was a very supportive network. My mother's mother was a singer in a band in Germany, and her father was a piano player. My real grandfather was the piano player for Milton Berle and the Jimmy Dorsey band. So
Nice.
there was kind of something in the family, although I never really got to know those guys. So there was never really kind of like the hands-on kind of teach you how to do it kind of a thing. And my dad really didn't know who his real father was. It's funny. There's a crazy story that goes, it's a story for another time, but we didn't find out until later in my life who his real father was. And then it soaked in what the roots were from and why I had this music in my blood. But my father was he really wanted me to be like a pilot and an entrepreneur like he was, but very supportive of the music. They bought me instruments, and then fortunately we went bankrupt around time I was 16, and it made me look at LA like it was the only possible solution, which was where I needed to be anyway. And I've been in bands doing my thing ever since.
No, for sure. And that's the beautiful thing, is that getting the support. If you guys ever check out Alan Watts, he's on YouTube, philosopher from the 60s. And I saw his video, Follow Your Dreams and the Money Will Follow. So many times with the systems that are in place, K through 12 and college, then your PhD, then, following your father's footsteps, etc. It's the conformity that kills the art. So I started playing later in life, music. I picked up the bass. I said, it only has 4 strings. I mean, I'm going to be fine. And then you realize you have to play it. But, that mindset that all of you have is going to carry you where you need to go.
Those tracks sound great.
Put it all on track and just stand there and look cool with the instrument.
I mean, seriously, right? I mean, my dad's always like, get your fucking haircut. And I'm like, where's my allowance? He's like, you have the right to remain silent. And I'm like, okay, Dad, enough.
Your dad, that's cool. Some of my best friends now are cops.
Oh, yeah,
We
what
run
a tough
Vegas.
job.
I'll run off to Las Vegas with a crew of cops, and those guys party more crooked than any crook I've ever met.
No, I went to Nantucket and with the state police, and they're crazier than my criminal friends who ran Whitey Bulger's drug organization. And they probably have to be, and I love them for it. And, we just pull out the passport, get out of some jams. It's a lot of excitement. Who does all this wonderful artwork for your website? And then we'll talk about the art for the video. Who's responsible for this?
I've been pretty passionate about like what the imagery would be up to this point. I'll come up with an idea, a concept, and then I'll share it with an artist, and then the artist will work it until it's kind of like where I saw it in my head. So the whole tarot card idea and all of that was kind of a collaboration between Eric Bishop and I, who was the Zen video director, and he also became the art director for the album's look. So we worked together with a third party, an artist that was just this phenomenal, illustrator. And I pulled images out of my head, what really represented the songs. Each song kind of created an image that represented the song as best as one image can. And then we created the artwork around that, like the kid that's sitting there with the needle and the demon coming out of it is a perfect representation of things we do, and all of the, how all of the evil gets pumped into your veins, once it's at a young age, you know what I mean? It's right there looking for you. And if it finds you, it's got you. So it's just like, I feel like we got super lucky with this imagery. It's kind of, I feel like it's one foot in the old school ways, you know what I mean? The artistry is a little bit, I don't know, we're kind of going to go a new direction, I think, now moving forward. All of us are kind of now starting to like collaborate on, Logan's had a few ideas about like what the album cover is going to look like for the next thing that we do. And Sam's got his buddy. And the more time passes by, the more open I am to like, other people's input. You know what I mean? I love like, freeing up my time to do other things. You know what I mean? If we're all being creative at the same time, we're going to come to something that we all enjoy a lot more. So we're really going to put everything we've got together into this next one.
No, for sure. And is that coming out soon? Because I know you said you were doing a video in the snow. Like, are you shooting music videos as we speak for your next album?
We are. We just
Wow.
pushed up. We're getting ready to do a second one of like 8 that we have lined up. So
in a parallel universe today, we would be shooting a video.
Right, in a parallel universe today, we wouldn't. Yeah, we pushed one back because the idea got a little bit bigger than the plan had allowed. So we're gonna shoot a little bit more. Anyway, we've got a lot of shit coming. Starting. They just announced today that we're gonna be on Rocklahoma.
Yeah, I saw that Labor Day.
What? So we're gonna start releasing new material right around then, and the status quo is to just keep punching you in the face with it. So we're just gonna keep releasing material about every 4 to 6 weeks. You're gonna get something brand new from us, a video, a song, until there's enough that you can call it an album, and then we'll put it all together on one playlist and call it a record. But going forward, we're just gonna keep creating. We've been working with this guy, Matt Good, who was in a band called First to Last, the guy from Skrillex and shit. So like the whole sound and everything has just been elevated, and it's just it's finally getting to where like I feel like I don't know, it's finally getting bigger than I ever could have imagined it being. So I'm super excited to share. We are super excited to share. Come September, you're going to get a lot of new stuff from us.
No, that's super. I looked at all the things I can't do at Rocklahoma. So I was like on the website, I'm like, can't do this, can't do that. I said, but I'm still going to do this, which is have a fucking great time. I was so happy to hear that. Are there other, I know, in the past, you've toured with a lot of huge name bands, and you were looking at Japan. What is after Rocklahoma? Because I have a feeling that, don't you have some dates? There's nothing on the website. So what is the course from now to Rocklahoma, or is it going to be Rocklahoma kickoff and then a tour?
Well, we'll probably do a slew of shows. I don't know if we can. We'll have to see how it pans out. But I've got a great agent working on some things. So we're going to piece something together. But we were running so hard. We were running ourselves into a wall, basically. Not us, but I was running myself into a wall. With endless tours going all over the world. And the tours weren't really getting us anywhere with bands that we wanted to be out with. I'm very thankful for all of the things that we got to do, but the reframing this group into what it is today has put us in a position where, like, again, like we said, coming in September, you're going to get a whole new breed of Budderside, and what that brings us is yet to be seen. But we are really excited to see what kind of offers we get. You know what I mean? I'm not so interested in like us going out and setting up every night and playing, just to do it. You know what I mean? We're going to do it right this time. And I think the material and the people we've got behind us is really going to set us apart. So We do have, it's tentatively planned that we're supposed to do Japan toward the end of the year. I think we're going over to Europe for a month. That's pretty much on the books. But again, people haven't really announced everything yet. A lot of these bigger bands, of course, have been just waiting for the dates to get the okays, and they've had tours in place. That's not us quite yet. So, yeah, things are coming together, but we're still just waiting to figure out how to announce, or when we can announce, when we're allowed to do like full capacity shows and stuff, because there's really no sense in going out and doing it if you're not going to do it right.
No, for sure. And then that's, the whole thing with COVID, it was a real thing. My buddy Chris, who's a jacked, should be playing pro football, was in the hospital for a week, almost died. We had so many pass. You go from state to state, you don't know, it's real. And then, with the misinformation, no information, what are we doing? I'm really glad that, I got my vaccination. We have states are opening up. Some of the folks that I've interviewed, Ace Frehley's crew, Alice Cooper, they're going to be on tour. And so I'm glad things are finally opening up. But did you spend a lot of time, woodshedding during COVID?
Yeah, there wasn't really anything else to do. There was just tons of time to write a bunch of ideas and work on stuff, and each try to, practice.
Practice.
Yeah.
Practice?
And it's a crazy concept.
I know, right? I finally had my modes down, everybody. So, but the thing is, so with that, with say Amber Alert with Carla Harvey of the Butcher Babies, was that done during COVID and Zen, or was that done before?
Well, the video was, but the song was not.
Right. Yeah, the song was recorded pre-COVID, and then we actually, we got together and did that whole Amber Alert video almost in the height, it was October of last year, and we had all types of permits we had to get, and everybody had to mask up, and everybody was we were testing each other before we got together, but we managed to get a crew of about 25, 30 people together to pull that thing off in one night. It was miraculous. But
no, totally miraculous. And I'm telling everybody to check the video out. Starts out, we got the two guys, is this the Chattanooga Choo-Choo or whatever that theme song was? I was like, yes, to hell. And it looks like the best time of my fucking life. You guys end up in a cage. Were there any mishaps during that? I'm glad everyone's made it through, but it just seemed like there was a lot of fun danger going on.
Yeah, the generator died a lot, and if it wasn't for our buddy Fitz, the thing would not have happened.
Thank you, Fitz.
Pretty giant generator, and it kept dying.
It's going to say that on my tombstone. It's going to say thank you.
On mine, it's going to say, I got it.
Well, the thing is, too, then Zen, that was done in Japan, correct?
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, so that was pre. And then, really, like, I don't mind getting a back rub and then, someone's pulling knives on me and then being chased by a big skeleton. These videos are worth a seventh watch. And that, with that said, you were nominated by a lot of different outlets.
Festival. We took home the gold on two of them. Amber Alert took one and Zen took another.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's still some in the works. Like we just put together like this great a post, that was proclaiming, all of the festivals that we won, and then in poured the news that we were, in a couple more. So it's like we had to pull the post back down, and now we have to add a few more festivals to it. So super grateful for that. I mean, I didn't anticipate any of that, but I mean, when we go in to make videos, we don't fuck around. You know what I mean? We want to entertain people, and I mean, I hate pulling up a band's video and it's just trash. Even if the song's good, it makes me like dislike the song a little bit. So, you got to back an epic song up with an epic video.
Yeah, and you're not joking around. I mean, from all of them that I've watched, including Genocide, which brought me back to Mad Max. you know, let alone the meaning of it to me. I was just like, whether it's some sort of crazy hell circus or, a little back rub, which turns into some more wildness, it seems to me all of your videos, including the one with Phil Campbell, which was more of a cartoon, it's just all great stuff. All of it.
Yeah, the juices get flowing, man. It's an exciting part of the process. I love it. Like when it comes time to make a video, it's something that I really, that we really take a deep breath and step back. It's like looking up at a mountain. But it's super exciting because, once you get to the top, there's going to be all of this energy. You know what I mean? When you watch that video back, when it's finally done and you're all sitting in the same room and you watch it together, it's just, it's a rush like no other,
No, none. So that's great. You're getting awards. You're being recognized. Rocklahoma is going to be fantastic. And then just to think that, let's see, the weekend's coming up. You're going to have probably 6 more songs completed, correct? It just seems like you guys are nonstop, which is great. And
we're about to walk into a rehearsal and hopefully come out with like 12 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been working hard. It's getting pretty exciting. Like that's actually, I was so excited driving to rehearsal today. I just wanted to scream because I'm excited to work on the stuff that we're doing. And as far as this weekend's concerned, I'm driving out to Las Vegas to see Gabe, to see this Cobain, to the Virgin Hotels where Gabe is playing Kurt Cobain and the 27 show out there.
You're close, man.
Oh, that's so exciting. And all you need, same with New Orleans, is just 3 days out there.
I'm mostly in Vegas now, man. I'm just in LA like Monday, Tuesday to rehearse with these guys, and I'm playing there like Wednesday to Sunday.
Oh, seriously? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know what to do for the time being. Just coming out of the pandemic, and it's a really cool show. Every musician on it's great, and every singer's killing it. So I'm having a great time out there.
And have you met some of the members of Nirvana?
I have, yeah. I met Butch Vig too. I met all those cats. So weird. I would have never thought that when I was 14 years old. If you would have told me, like, yeah, you're gonna hang out with all these guys, like, I would have not believed you.
Yeah. Same here.
That's sweet. And that's the thing, as you had spoken about, Lemmy, there's really good people on the planet. It makes me feel good. And those who don't want to take the time out is really just a reflection of themselves. You can only really drive one car at a time at the moment or live in one place at a time. None of that stuff impresses me. I've been around A-listers. I'm just really glad to help people and encourage them. And, you guys have a really solid message. And what I love is the creativity. And it's not just like, when I was going through this, like, oh, one video, okay, we're up to, oh my God. It's super exciting what you're doing.
Nice. It's only going to get bigger. I hope that there's enough that it feels like you sit down and watch a movie, soon enough. Or, like when I wake up and ask Alexa to play Chris Cornell and it's not, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning and 8 p.m. you're sitting there still listening to another new song, It'd be great to have a catalog that's that big, I would love to write 50 more songs with these guys and have those out there for people to listen to.
Well, that's why I say eternity. I watched Gladiator a few weeks ago and the beginning battle scene, and what he said to his troops was, what you do in life echoes in eternity. So with your spiritual theme from all sort of different vantage points, including, sort of a slower song with the choir about not using drugs, that really touched me as well. So there's a lot to think about, including you guys should really carry a camera around. I saw a couple of the vignettes with the Viper Room where you, Patrick, brought Slash and Steven back together on stage. Gabe almost gets killed. Sam forgets the lyrics. We have, Jeff and Logan are rocking out. Have you ever thought of that sort of thing, incorporating it more into the band's life?
Yeah, no, we're trying. We want to have many episodes of Tales from the Sunset Strip,
Or just in general. I mean, because everybody's kind of a nut in their own way. Everybody's a little crazy.
We're all gonna pair, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little crazy. Speak for yourself, young man. No, I just love it, and I think it just seems like, and that's the thing that it seems, because again, bands are like marriages, where mostly you're not sleeping with each other. You have to get along. 90. Again, that's a fourth date, especially with the chanting in the bedroom, like, get your hands on me. Also, in I saw your interview with a couple gentlemen from England, and they talked about your first track, and they're like, yeah, you really want to grab them by the balls. And I was like, yeah, maybe not. I don't know what you're into, but it was really kind of a hilarious moment where it was just the phraseology of it. And It's like, it's a good thing. So like, yeah, grab them right in the balls. Or if you're Trump, grab them in the pussy. I'm like, it's like, it was just kind of a different way to look at it. So I was just like, okay, but your music does kick ass, which is great. So as far as
we're working on becoming better interviewees, you know what I mean?
No, it's fantastic. It's just, I'm really thankful to have you on my show, as well as to just let more people out there know I bought your album, Spiritual Violence. Great stuff. And, more people need to see the videos, because it just seems like with your collaborations and in talking to other artists, some will, play with Ace Frehley. That whole band will play with Gene Simmons. Nowadays, you can do that, which is great,
Yeah. No, we're, man, you just made me think of Matt Starr. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Drummer.
Yeah. Yeah, man, thanks so much for supporting us and, having us on the show. We couldn't, we're so thankful for everybody spreading the butter.
Yes. Woo! Yes. My cat landing right side up and my mom throwing toast at me. Budderside. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. It's like melodically, the different changes. I'm like, it's like kind of like, I was like, we got some Russian here. We got different influences. And you talked about your influences, which have all been influenced. But then you think about the influences of influences. So it starts to go into some sort of space math. And really, the stuff that you're going to do in the world that you're doing now, it's just incredible. So I really look forward to what you're dropping, at Rocklahoma and what you're kicking out. And then maybe we can do another show in 6 months.
For sure.
Yeah. Nice.
For sure.
I would love that. You're so inspiring, all of you. Keep it up. I'm going to collect my cans. Do you guys follow pro football at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly I'm a Bears fan.
Oh, God love you.
And I'm a Raiders fan, so.
Yes. Raiders. Yeah, I had a friend that was coaching with them, but I go to a lot of Patriots games. I'm in an elevator with Tom Brady and Julian Edelman. And Julian Edelman says, I just spent my whole summer in L.A. And I said, I love Louisiana. Were you in New Orleans? The kid with the jokes. you got to treat everybody the same, you know? I'll punk them if I can, so just good stuff. So let's just keep it going, The Rock, and then you'll be dropping the next album, you think, when you get enough songs. Are you looking at a December release, or?
No. We're going to release one song every 4 to 6 weeks starting in September, and you know, we're not going to call it an album until we've dropped about 12 of them, and then we'll put them all together on something that you can probably get somewhere, you know. Up until then, it's just, we're going to do one single at a time, because that's just the way to keep people interested nowadays. It's like the attention span and the shelf life of an album doesn't keep up with, you know, just pouring out more new content, you know.
Well, that's what happened with Vines and TikTok. And just in general, Black Mirror, that people's attention spans are much shorter. So that's a great strategy. You guys have really a kick-ass rehearsal.
Thank you.
I wish you so much success and blessing, which you're creating on your own. You're very inspirational. Keep up the great work. We're going to Budderside it for eternity. How's that sound, guys?
Hell, fuck yeah. And congratulations to you on 10 years, man. It's a milestone for sure.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you. Just for today. And the other thing is, too, is we're just going to continue to release the wrecking ball of rock, which is Budderside. Keep it up. Love you guys. Have a great night.
Thanks, Becky.
Bye.
All right. Ciao.
Woo! What a fantastic group, Budderside. My God. You got to check out their videos, seriously. Jump on Amazon and buy Spiritual Violence. Check out the video Amber Alert, Zen, Pardon Me, Wide Awake, Genocide. I just wish I could borrow all their good looks and musical ability, but then I wouldn't be a punk rocker anymore. That's another fantastic episode of Melted with Budderside. Spiritual Violence is out now. Grab it on Amazon. Melted is sponsored by Carlino Guitars. Check out Budderside's videos. Jump on YouTube. Jump on their website. I'm going to post all that good stuff. And follow these wonderful 5-piece to Destiny. And I want to thank you for another great episode of Melted. We'll talk to you soon.